Hey everyone, it's Ethan Ormes back again for another video today, and welcome back to the channel, guys. We're here again for yet another video. Today we're going to be ranking some music. Today we're going to be going through my top 10 songs released in September of 2022. Yeah, that's it, really. Let's get into it. So at number 10, we have Interstellar by Lil Uzi Vert. Well, actually, sorry, I guess it's by Nav featuring Lil Uzi Vert, but it's mostly an Uzi song. I really love their back and forth on this song. I think it's very, very good. I love seeing them go back and forth. I love hype songs between Nav and Uzi. Don't get me wrong, ASAP Ferg is probably my favorite of their collaborations, but hype, Uzi, and Nav are so fucking good. So fucking good. And no different here. They both snap, in my opinion. But moving on, we've got at number 9, Ball and Peace outro, which is a fantastic song. Of course, again by Nav, and ooh, I love the production on the song. It's really, really good. Nav's really talking about some deep subject matter as well, which I love when Nav really talks about what's going on in his life. Especially a lot of this album. Well, maybe not a lot of this album, but some parts on this album is dedicated to Lil Keed and Pop Smoke and some other friends in the music game that he's lost. So it's nice to experience that and see what your favorite rappers are going through, right? So, really great song, really good song that I'm an absolute major fan of. Moving on to number 8, we've got Demons in My Cup. It's an absolute banger. Again, Hype Nav. I love Hype Nav. I feel like Hype Nav is like really underrated. Yeah, it's a great song. Love this song. I absolutely love the chorus. I think the chorus is fantastic. I'm trying not to talk about all of these songs all that much just because I am going to be making an album review to this album still. I've yet to do that, I know. That'll be out very shortly, and I apologize for that, guys. But nonetheless, Demons in My Cup, fantastic. I love the way that he's prefacing, I guess, cup and pup in the chorus, and I love the beat pattern in the song as well. It's very heavy. Moving on to Lost of the Mohicans, which I think this entire song pretty much is dedicated to Lil Keed. Rest in peace to an absolute legend. I went through a big Lil Keed phase back in 2019, but nonetheless, this song is an absolute banger. Just absolutely one of the best songs that Nav made, or that was released on Demons Protected by Angels. And again, another heartfelt song from Nav where he's really talking about some deep subject matter that's very sad. So, yeah, again, a fantastic song. I absolutely love the production, and I love the meaning behind it. Really, really good. Moving on to the top 5 now. At number 5, I have Count on Me intro. By far, one of my favorite intros from Nav's whole discography. I don't really think Nav misses on intros, though, to be fair. There has not been an intro on any Nav album that has been bad or even mid, even good. Like, I would go as far as saying every single Nav outro is great or better. Or intro, sorry, I think I said outro. Intro, I mean, it's pretty much the same story with outros, though, to be fair. I think Nav's intros are some of his best songs, and again, no different here on this album. Count on Me is fantastic. Again, talking about some subject matter where, he feels like he's the only one that he can trust and that he's lost so many people that he's got no one else to trust, which I just think it's very sad. It's heartbreaking, truly. Total change of pace. Moving into number 4, we've got Mismatch, of course, by Nav, featuring Babyface Ray. Dude, I love this song. I think this is absolutely one of the most underrated songs from the album. This song reminds me so much of Emergency Tsunami. Of course, I talked about Emergency Tsunami back when it came out. I've been doing this channel for 2 years, and it'll be 2 years next month since Emergency Tsunami came out. Emergency Tsunami is my favorite Nav album, and the production from Wheezy on Mismatch is just, it fits perfectly with Emergency Tsunami. That Wheezy production on Emergency Tsunami is probably my favorite production in all of Nav's discography. And Mismatch is just one of those songs that I think you could put onto Emergency Tsunami and feel like it fits perfectly because the sound of it just fits so well. And I think the same thing for a song that came out earlier this year featuring Nav, 30 for 30 by T-Shine, which I talked about earlier this year as well. Yeah. Anyways, moving into these top 4, and these top 4 are like low-key in a tier of their own. So at number 4, we've got Deadshot by Nav featuring Lil Uzi. Again, of course, that Friday, September 9th, was absolutely stacked for Uzi. 3 phenomenal features. All 3 of these features are in my top 10. Spoiler alert for the upcoming top 3, but Deadshot is fantastic, bro. I love the chorus on this. I absolutely love the back and forth between Nav, the Uzi chorus, heading into the Nav verse, then to the Uzi chorus. Then they go back and forth for their final verse. It's so good, and I love hearing just really fast-paced rapping, because I think Nav really excels at that. I love his fast-paced rapping, and I mean, obviously, we know Uzi can spit. Uzi absolutely has flames, and Uzi's honestly been having a really underrated year, I think. I wasn't a huge fan of whatever that album or EP he released was, but there's a couple songs on it that Red and White, I think it was. Yeah, I mean it's decent, but apart from that, like Uzi's been having an absolutely insane feature run this year, and no different here on Deadshot again. One of my favorite songs of the month, low key in probably like my top 25 songs of the year. It's an absolute banger, but low key, in my opinion, just a bit more of a banger. We have Flawless by Yeat featuring Lil Uzi Vert, which is one of the only 2 songs I'm revisiting from Yeat's new EP, Life. And you guys know I'm such a big Yeat fan. Rage beats are so fucking good. Take a perk and a Tonka, that's it. I fucking love this song so much, man. It's so damn good. It's so hyped. The Rage production on it is so good. Uzi and Yeat's chemistry are so fucking good. I love the Flawless chorus. I know that like he literally only says flawless, but it's just so good, man. It really is. I fucking love this song so much, dude. And then the transition into Uzi's verse is, oh, the production. It's just so good. The production of the song is fantastic, man. And I love at the end of Uzi's verse how he kind of implements some Yeet flow. It's really, really good. He kind of gets to that like monotone mumbling rap that maybe not monotone, but the mumble rap that Yeet has. Uzi kind of dips into that Yeet bag, which I think is really great. And I love the part where Uzi says "Paras," dude. Like the deep vocal inflection. Oh man, it's just so good. I love this song. Anyways, moving on to my favorite song from the Nav album, Demons Protected by Angels. At number 2, we have Loaded. I think this song is so fucking good, and I get a lot of flack from some of my friends that Deadshot wasn't my favorite song from the album. I feel like most people are probably saying Deadshot or Never Sleep are their favorite songs from the album, but Loaded is fantastic, bro. Loaded reminds me a lot of Snap and She Hurting, or Hurtin', which are some of my favorite Nav songs from their respective albums, where it's a slower paced Nav, and it's just so good. I don't get me wrong, I fucking love hype Nav, but there's a part of me, like, Nav, I think is so versatile, whether it's slower, like, sadder Nav versus hype, I'm fucking, like, I'm going crazy, Nav, right? And Loaded is definitely more on the slower pace side of things, and it's so good. And one thing that Nav has always done throughout his production is towards the end of the song, he brings his production down to a very slow tempo that I just love. I love that effect. Sofago does it as well in some of his songs. Really, really big fan of that shit. Anyways, we'll move on to... No, actually, wait. Dude, the chorus of Loaded is so good. I love the added production throughout the chorus as well. It's so strong, and it's fantastic. Anyways, moving on to number 1, absolutely no doubt in my mind, Talk by Yeat is my favorite song from the month. It is so fucking good, and literally, absolutely pun intended, it's fucking flawless. I love this song. It's so fucking good. I love the start of it. I think it's hilarious. The everyone's popping pussy for Yeet thing. Oh, but the production, man, the production is so good. I was so hyped for the song. This was in one of my unreleased videos that I made last month, I think, and it might have been, no, I think it was in August, actually. I made an unreleased video, or a music of unreleased songs, a video of unreleased music that I wanted to hear, and Yeat's Talk was on that list. I think it was called Life at that point, because everyone thought it was going to be called Life. Then we'd seen that this was going to be the lead single to the new EP that Yeat released, which is, of course, called Life. but it was called Talk. And when I first listened to it, I wasn't even really paying attention, just because sometimes when I listening to Yeat, I mean, no, for the most part, when you're listening to Yeat, you just turn your brain off. You just Curry Sway, man. It's just so good. The Curry Sway. I fucking love this song, man. Again, absolutely one of my favorite songs of the year. Again, Yeat's been making some fucking bangers this year, and in my opinion, I think 2022 has been Yeat's year. I truly do. Does he have my favorite albums from the year? No. I mean, he's technically released 3 projects. He's released a full-size album and 2 EPs with the deluxe of 2 Alive earlier this year, and then of course this now New Life EP, which again I will be talking about soon for you guys. But yeah, shout out to Yeat for low-key carrying 2022 in my opinion. But with that being said, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.